Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Get that bell notification on too so you don't miss out on a video. Welcome back to the channel where last time we were here we did a live stream, but before that we built 3 ports in 30 minutes. I know it's been a little while since we've had a normal video of Oracle Valley, but that's because we had the final Skylines 6 episode for the Skylines 6 summer vacation, and if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It was a ton of fun. And I think I built something pretty unique. So definitely check that out. And in today's episode, we are going to be going back to the first tile yet again and completing something that we set out as a part of the main plan of the city right away. This was one of our first things we did, but yet we haven't completed it yet. So we're going to touch on that today. And then we are going to kind of maybe start a small town. So we'll find out how that is connected in today's video. So let's hop out and take a look. So this is Port Roberts. So way back in the day when we started Port Roberts, this was the original tile. The idea was that we had our main waterfront here, and then the city's kind of built up along the waterfront, industrial. We have our railway kind of coming in here, which we've since turned into a bit of tram tracks and stuff like that. So we finally got our port in, and look at this, we actually have port ships coming in for the first time since Brockton County. I've managed to fix it, so that is awesome. And we are going to be focusing on getting our metro in. Now we do have a metro connection in here that goes kind of north-south that runs up to the stadium, but we don't have a metro connection that goes this way. And one of the first things we did when we made this railway right of way is that we were going to convert it to metro. So we're going to be using this right of way as a metro from now on. We're going to be doing this today. We're going to be bringing the metro through this right of way. Somehow we're going to get it through here, probably underneath. And then we're going to get a stop out this way where we're going to move our monorail, which goes like this. We're going to bring it in and then they can connect right there. And then we'll continue it back out. But then we're going to continue the metro out this way. And then we'll get it out over here where it will terminate. And we will get the beginning of a small town, and this has a good opportunity to be a good buildable zone. This whole area here is really good. I really like this space. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Where is the metro? Well, if we go to our tab, we go to here, we go to metro, which is this one. Yeah, and we can now see. So we have a stop right here, right where it says Port Roberts Station, and it's one of those plus stops. It has like a good plus symbol on it, so you know you can get a stop that going north-south and east-west. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get a stop coming into this station from out this direction, and then they can link up with that other main line that goes like this, where it can connect up to the downtown. So from that point, there's tons of connection opportunities, which is the idea. So let's get started on that. What are we going to do first? Well, we're going to dig our tunnel, kind of connecting it underneath this main street, which is Main Street and Axelrod. And then we will kind of emerge underneath probably Roberts Road here, where we will then either take out this line or we'll run parallel to it. But let's see. Alright, so we now have a metro line running underneath, and I love this connection here. It looks really good the way the earth kind of works with the concrete supporting wall. So are we going to take this line out, or are we going to leave it? Well, right now we have the train line kind of coming in to here. It's a historical part of the line. It doesn't really need to be there at all. It has no significance because we have the rest of the historical lines at the museum over here, and then it turns into our tram. So should we just take this part out? Well, that is the question. We have a need for the rail on this side because we have our port, and I'm so happy that the ships are working. Like, oh my goodness, it's been a long time. Some glitch was happening in the game that was stopping them from happening, but I actually had to, I'm sure we'll go over this in the live stream, but I actually had to remove everything and disable the city. It was a really risky move, but I needed to do it for this round of Skylines 6. And because of that, I was really worried that I might have accidentally killed the city, but I didn't manage to recover it, and we got it. Like, it looks like it fixed itself. Like, how amazing is that? So yeah, so we need a connection point into here. So this line on the left needs to be there, but then what happens here is we have it split off into either direction, right? So that's okay. So we can actually delete this whole line because this connection on this side serves no purpose. So I think what we can do is we can delete it from about that point. We'll leave some of the historical line in place, but we'll delete it, we'll rejig everything, and then we'll run the line all the way up to about this point where we'll talk about something. Whoa, look at that train. Holy moly. Okay, well, that's something we can fix. Alright, so you might have been noticing some fixes I did right here. So there was a weird amount of traffic coming through here, so I've done a bit of fixing off camera for this port, and yes, the cargo ship's coming in. That's awesome. I love that. And mainly it's to do with the mail trucks. So I've done a few things to help out with that, but there's something else we can do which maybe we can add on to the city today, which is adding in another one of these mail sorting facilities. But what I've done is I've actually deleted a pedestrian bridge here, and I've made it a road. This way we have a lot of the mail trucks going into the city directly that way, which was convenient, instead of having to loop around and then go like that. It's a bit better this way. It's a disabled rail track too, so I think it's fine. And then another fix that I did was actually put a mail thing out this way, just plopped it down, seeing if it would help, so that this one is closer to this port, hoping that a lot of the outgoing mail would go through this port instead of this one for some reason, or this one, which is really, really cool. I really like this port. Yeah, as you can tell, there's what we did in the live stream, which I'm not sure what we're doing at this point, isn't in the city yet, which whether it was the hospital, whether it was the downtown arena plus the university sports, because I'm recording this ahead of time. And if you want to know when I'm recording this, it is 34 days until launch of City Skylines 2. All right, so we are at this point here where we need to decide how we're going to approach the metro. Should we kind of continue it out this way and have a ground crossing connection, which is something that does happen where there's these tight little issues, or what we could do is we can get it to go underground again, or like yeah, we could lower it even more and then have it kind of come up this way, but then we're going uphill right after it. But as soon as we're here, though, there's a lot of trains that we need to go underneath. So I'm thinking what we do is we go underneath, we go underground again, running parallel still, and then we'll re-emerge right here. All right, so we have our metro connection now over here. We're still using the same right of way, but to avoid all the train traffic, we just go underneath really quickly again. Now I do need to slope it again, but that is okay. We can deal with that later. So we will now have this here where we're gonna need to have a cool metro stop. I think a metro stop in here would be good. We can bring the monorail in, like I mentioned, and then have a little kind of hub right here. We could easily get a few pedestrian connection points. We actually already have a pedestrian bridge right here, so that is convenient. Maybe we can get another one here, or we can just leave it as is, because there's not that much out this way, but there is a big national park. So let's continue the metro line kind of following parallel to this double track now, because we need both lines at this point, and then we'll get it to about this point where we'll get a bridge, and then from that bridge we will then stop with the metros for now. All right, so we now have our metro connection going right through here, underneath this awesome bridge, past our little countdown clock, underneath this bridge, which needs to get adjusted really quickly, and then across this dry riverbed, and then over to here where we're going to have our next town, our next small town. So let's just clean this up a little bit. That's probably good. And of course, all the trees came back. All right. So that is fantastic. What should we do next? I'm thinking we get this metro stop in place first with the monorail. So what kind of metro stop would we need? Well, I'm thinking, you know, we don't need like a bypass station because it's only going to be 3 stops. It's going to be from here to here in. So like, we're not going to need a bypass station or anything like that. So I think just something really simple. We could even just include this metro line directly into the station. It doesn't need to be like a bypass. Now I was thinking, should we connect it into Joy's Town of Hope? I was thinking like, yeah, maybe we could get like a metro bridge across and then get like one of the metro stations kind of in this main square here. Like underneath, we could kind of just go right in like that. But then that would kind of ruin the vibe of Joy's build. Because we already have a direct train line that goes from here into the downtown and then from here in to Port Roberts Station. So I'm thinking what we do then, we just grab like a bus and then we shuttle it in to here into this metro stop. And then we go directly into downtown Port Roberts because there's so many other directions. I think we can kind of leave it at that and make this a cool end station. So since it's only going to be a 3 metro stop line, yeah, I think it's going to be okay if we could just make this a very simple metro station. So let's choose the metro station. All right, so Lafayette Station is now complete, and I really like how this one turned out. We have our metro kind of at ground level on a pedestrian road right behind the monorail road, and I like how this kind of has turned out. So I think when we originally placed this road down, it is kind of like a major street, right? Like it goes all the way through here, all the way to this major intersection. So when we get down into this city, you can then take the diversion into Port Roberts if you want, or you know what we've done is we've transformed this road into this metro stop. So since there's going to be lots of traffic flowing through here, I thought it was best to kind of get this kind of metro stop in here. I was debating whether or not we're going to do the one with the road or without the road. I think the one with the road looks cool, particularly because we still are able to keep the original kind of right-of-way right through here. Like the all that's really been added to this kind of property is just this extension onto it. So this is what I was looking for when we built this, is to keep this kind of original quote road with just the 2 lanes right through here. So then when you're driving straight through here, you kind of stay in the same direction. But when you're coming from it from it at this direction, this is where it gets a little bit wonky. So you kind of have to cross traffic here. So I'm sure there's a big sign that says like that's where the road is. So I think maybe we could fix this node a little bit. It looks a little different, or too different than I would like. So perhaps what we can do is just kind of widen it out a little bit. Maybe we can open up this side a little bit more too. Nah, I think that one is good. Perhaps what we do then is we just grab this segment and then we just twist it out a little bit so you approach it differently. Just slightly. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Well, either way, I don't think there's too much traffic that uses this road. Even though it does connect up to here, it's not a very trafficked area. Now, originally I was actually thinking about putting in a highway interchange over here, but I just don't think we need it. The way the traffic is flowing through the city. We have our first major intersection right here, which flows really, really good and filters everything out really well. And then we have our second one right here, and we have these supporting roads. So I just don't think it's necessary for the time being. If we're looking at the traffic through here, it's, whoa, there we go. It's pretty good. Like, it's steady. It doesn't really back up at all, even though we have Glamazon Fulfillment Center right here. And then we look at this over here, and it's also flowing really, really good. So with that, let's now build up Lafayette Station. Lafayette Station because of Lafayette Park. And what do we really need in here? Well, I was thinking we could get just like a few residential buildings, some services out this way, maybe even a hotel, and just kind of fill it up with a bit of commercial as well. Nothing too crazy, and some parking, because I would imagine that this would be a really important area. So why was this necessary? Well, we have our monorail running through here, and so it's just too good of an opportunity to not connect these two lines up. So now if you're coming from Kent or Oracle Lake area, especially the Kent Gardens and anything else we build out this way, getting to Lafayette Station can take you pretty much anywhere. You can go right downtown via the monorail. You can also go from the monorail up to Oracle Lake, and then all the way out to Oracle Bay Harbor. And then from Lafayette Station's metro, you can go right down to the Port Roberts waterfront, or in the future out to this direction. So it's a really good little hub. I think we need to have a bit of an area for buses that we can kind of have. And I guess in a way what we could do is just have the buses pull off onto this road. It's not that trafficked of an area after all, is it? Oh, and then we have this strange issue here with the two lanes going into the one lane. Maybe we can work on that really quickly as well. Alright, so Lafayette Square is now complete, and I really like how this turned out. We have our hotel right here, just a little simple one, and then we have a cafe, some parking, got some cool office buildings right beside the monorail as well, a couple little tiny shops. That's always useful for these kind of areas. And then we have some taller residential buildings because it's clearly a modern redevelopment, but then we also have a touch of industry from the past era and past use of this region. And since we have it as a pedestrian zone at the metro, we need a pedestrian kind of thing right here, which I think still kind of fits the vibes that we're going for. All right, so now that we're done that, we've swung all the way out to here. Let's figure out how we're going to kind of plan out this town. And then once we plan it out, get the main streets kind of going in the metro, we're going to end the video for the day. So we have some main streets running through here. And this one kind of has a trajectory to either kind of continue out this way, kind of connect up maybe right into here, maybe over into this zone, or it can kind of just easily swing down, follow the terrain line that the rail provides, and connect down into here. This one I'm thinking probably should just kind of stick in its trajectory as well of the shoreline, and I think we could easily connect it up into this kind of road right here, and then maybe even continue it down. And I think that's the route we're going to go. Bring both of these roads down through here. And with that, we're going to have the beginnings of a new town kind of planned up here. This is going to be really useful. We're right on the river, which is really convenient. We're right beside Hope as well. There's a good separation with nature. So I think this is going to create a cool, unique, small town. Not necessarily tiny, but so where are we going to get the metro? If this is kind of, if we're planning out this town in a historical sense, the river would be the main kind of area. So what I'm thinking is we kind of have like our historic town right through here, but then we have like a end of line metro kind of stop right out this way, and then we can shuttle like a tram or something into that from the main kind of square of the town. And then that end of line metro station can easily serve Hope as well as anything else we have planned out this way in the future. Kind of with buses. So we need the extra space of the land to do that. So let's plan out the metro stop first. That's going to be the most important. Kind of doing it in reverse, I guess. Usually you think to plan out the historical town first, but I think that's pretty simple enough. Let's talk about the metro itself, because there is a really good end-of-line metro station that we have. That is the Double Island Station. So if we look at it, if we just plop it down, I'm just going to need a road really quickly to do that. We need a good end-of-line station to kind of just, you know, an area where we can have potentially, you know, a future connection, you know, allow the city to plan that out, but also just like a space for trains to wait and get service or something like that. So this one's actually probably a bit too big because we don't need those four. I think that's a little too large. So let's go with the bypass station maybe. I mean, what's the purpose of that, right? I don't think that's really needed. Maybe we go with another one then. Just like the simple island station. Yeah, you know, I think the island station does exactly what we're kind of hoping for with this kind of end station idea. But yeah, you know what? I think we can leave it at this one. This one's cool. I like the station because it has access points from two sides. That's really important to me. But if we look at other stations, because we do have some other ones available now with the Railroads of Japan, don't we? All right, so we have the beginnings of our next major station. So I brought in a little teeny bus road here. I think this would be a good kind of transition point here. So like the buses kind of come from, say, Hope, for example, and they swing all the way down through here. Then they can pull off into this little mini station, and then we have some stairs that go up to the station, and then you're right there. So like that's really convenient. Now on the other side though, I'm going to leave blank. I'm going to leave it pretty empty because say we want to get a tram in from this town, that would be really convenient to kind of run the tram up through here and then bring it right through into this station, and then we can create like a little hub on this side. This is more for the parking, people coming from rural areas, say Hope or other fictional towns. Then they can come and park at this long-term kind of parking area. So this is more for rural areas, and then this is a bit more of the local kind of hub through here, maybe coming from Kent, or say whatever we have going on up here, for example, as well. But yeah, so we'll save that for another day. And then, you know what? I was planning on starting this little town today, but I've run out of time. But I can name the town because I knew what I was going to name it. And then this town right through here, we'll say it's all the way up roughly into this kind of area with all the rural aspects to it. This roughly is going to be Barboursville. So Barboursville was supposed to be a town in Fort Prairie, but it never really made it to the series because we had to stop that series due to lots of mod conflicts in the updates. So we're gonna have Barboursville out this way, and I really like the start of this town. We're gonna have it right along the waterfront here. We have two kind of tunnels, which is really cool, and then we have this huge bridge over here by the countdown clock. But we also have this awesome nature kind of pocket right through here, which is really cool. And then since we have a ton of forest up here, maybe we can do the same kind of vibes. So lots of nature around this town. It's going to have an industrial heart to it, that's for sure, because it's right on the river, but we can talk about that another time. So let's go all the way back to Lafayette Hills through here, or Lafayette Park or Square or whatever it's called, and let's get our screenshot for the episode. So I hope you had a wonderful day, folks. Talk to you soon. Peace out.